everyone, and welcome to Chant A Psalm A Day. We are here again, yes, on Tuesday. Some news, some good news, and some not so good news. So let's start with the good news. This is the day that goodness has made, righteousness has made, love has made, kindness and mercy, compassion, forgiveness, and our word today, integrity. I've always said that word. Well, it's our word today, integrity. And I'm just waking up actually. Mm, and we are in a time when we are seeing a lot of deaths. So I wanted to start off with some good news. And the good news is that this is the day that righteousness has made. We're going to rejoice in this day, and we're going to give thanks for this day. For this is the day that the goodness, kindness, and mercy and compassion has made. So we're going to be joyful in this day. So now for the not so good news. I am, you know, I'm grieving my son that passed a year ago. I'm grieving my son that passed a year ago. I'm also grieving my dad that just passed. And two students at the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, died in a head-on collision early Sunday in the Rise. And they passed away at the scene. Two others who was in another vehicle, I guess the one that was going the wrong way, is in critical condition. So classes yesterday were suspended, and they're suspended today. This is rather sad news for the UMES family when two students, very young, 18 years old and 22 years old. And it's just, it kind of made me reflect on how precious life is and how we have to really value ourselves in that journey of life, valuing others, valuing ourselves. I had that reflection with this. And then, excuse me, and then where's the scripture, Jade? Jade is sending me the scripture. So we have come to a time or a season where it's about reflecting on the things that we're doing, things that we've done, and things that we want to do. So we have to move in that reflective state. So some pages don't have scripture. Okay. Okay, so we are early. We're at 6:30 over here on the Eastern Shore. And as you can tell, I'm drinking my hot tea. I need my hot tea in the Rise when I get up. I got up early this Rise and trying to get my day going because yesterday I was picking up my son. Excuse me, picking up my son, and the police stopped me. I got stopped by the police, and I got a ticket. And I got a ticket for speeding. Yep, I did get a ticket for speeding, and it was I gave thanks in my heart to the Most High that you're keeping me right, because these people are, put there for a reason. And yeah, I got a ticket for speeding yesterday when I went to pick up my son. So I didn't get a warning or anything like that. I got a ticket. So I'm going to fight the ticket. And my good friend, we did like a role play where she was the judge and I was, fighting this ticket. And she made some good points, you know. But I acknowledge I was speeding, I was. And I didn't, it was dark and I didn't see like the speed limit signs and stuff like that. So I don't know if I even have a case to go up to the judge, but I want to go to the court today and, see what's happening. Like I said to you and me as students, they weren't my students. I don't know who they were. They haven't released their names, but two students passed away um, on Sunday, a car accident. It was four of them. Two were in one car, two were in another car. And one car was going the wrong way and they just had a head on collision, boom. And they passed away at the scene. So this has been really like, I went to my office yesterday and checked my email, and this email came in Sunday. Yesterday was Monday, and no classes. Classes have been suspended. They have the counseling available for students if they need somebody to talk to. So when I went to the classroom just to check to see if anybody didn't get the email, there was a sign on the door, no classes. So this is serious. My heart goes out to the families of these young people and their professors, anyone who was their teachers. It is hard when this has happened, and you're just starting off your life. You're just starting your life out at 18, and this happens. You're taken away off the earth in such a quickness. So it's important that we realize how fragile life is. Life isn't short. People say life is short. You got to do this, do that. Life isn't short. It is fragile. It's very fragile. So we have to have integrity. And that is our word today, integrity. And integrity is a quality that can be defined in a few ways. It's a quality of living by your values and principles, and is often associated with being honest and truthful. So integrity can also mean being uncompromising in your moral and ethical values. Like you're not going to go sleep around. You're not going to go, sleep with, multiple people, unless, that is your value and your principle, being a hoe. Maybe that's your value and principle. However, it means integrity means that uncompromising in one's moral and ethical values. So you have morals, you have ethics. And the word integrity also refers to the prevention of unauthorized modification of information. So this includes the preservation of the original quality and accuracy of information and the ability of a system to provide timely warnings to the users. So the word integrity also can mean character, decency, goodness, honesty, morality, probity, rectitude, and rightness. So integrity falls in that category of God. God holds integrity very, very highly. So it's about the righteousness, and the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles and uprightness. So, when we look at the word today, integrity, it's that reference to a specific code of ethical and moral principles to be truthful and honest enough to do what is right. So individuals with integrity are incorruptible and always uncompromising in the moral and ethical values that they believe in. So, oh, you got your gloves. So when we talk about integrity, we look at, how there's a code, there's a code of ethical and moral principles that you live by. Like you clean up after yourself. My son is here. He comes in and out. He's my production person. He's supposed to get my set ready for my Chant A Psalm, and I don't know what he's doing, but I love him. He's my son. And integrity, individuals with integrity are incorruptible, and they're always uncompromising in the moral and ethical values that they believe in. And I mentioned this in one of my Psalms. Two people going into a store and one wants to steal. The other one is like, no, we're not going to do that. Let's make our own store and start our own business, right? So that person has integrity. They have a code of ethical and moral principles to be truthful and honest enough to do what is right. So I'm going to have integrity when I go to the judge about my speeding ticket. I'm not going to lie. I didn't see the speed limit signs. It was dark. You need to light that street light needs to be visible. So I'm not going to go make up something and try to, get out of a ticket. I'm going to be honest, and have that truthful honesty enough to do what is right. My friend said, just pay the ticket. My son said, just pay the ticket. You were wrong. You were speeding. Pay the ticket. So what do you all think out there? Should I pay the ticket or should I fight it? I'm going through PTSD. Okay. I'm traumatized by seeing my dad on the ground. I can tell that to the judge. I can also explain that I'm new to this area and I feel like I should have got a warning instead of a ticket. I know I was wrong to be speeding, especially at night like that. So I just want, a pardon this one time, just a pardon this one time. So, we gotta, what do y'all think? My son said I need to just pay the ticket. What do you think? Should I pay the ticket?
Tackle something else. What are you doing? You don't have to. I have to leave. I have to leave soon.
It's 6:40 here on this eastern shore on this side of the world, and as we close my door, as we go into the Psalm today, I just I have to give thanks. Okay, my son is 28. Yep, he's 28. He's 2 years shy of 30. He's gonna have a big 30 birthday. We're gonna give him a big 30 birthday. And he's cold. The weather is changing here on the Eastern Shore, and there's a hurricane. That's another thing I'm going to talk about is Hurricane Milton. I have a cousin named Milton. But Hurricane Milton is coming up the coast of Florida. So Hurricane Milton is coming up the coast of Florida, and it is turning into a Category 5 hurricane. Now, there are some, people that are thinking there's some conspiracies going on with FEMA and, all this stuff. But I'm going to tell you straight up, FEMA doesn't give you money, okay? I don't know why they're talking about a conspiracy and using Trump in that way to as he's spreading some whatever. The point of the fact is the governments take money and they appropriate. They can misappropriate money and take it from one place to give it to another place. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of situation. Because in the Virgin Islands, two category 5 hurricanes hit the Virgin Islands. And my family is there, so I know what FEMA did and didn't do. $500 you're giving people on an island? $500 you're giving to people who just got hit by 2 category 5 hurricanes. Come on now. So when you're talking about Trump did this and he's saying this and he's saying that, go investigate these other places that were hit and what FEMA did and didn't do. That's all you got to do. Look at the track record. Look at what's going on. And then you can see what he's saying or whatever he's talking about. Because $500 FEMA gave to survivors of the 2 category 5 hurricanes in the Virgin Islands. And now they're giving them who got hit with Helene, $700. What? Come on now. You got to give people $5,000. You got to give people $5,000 so that they can see their way, and a hotel and this and that. Come on now. So, what is the Biden Harris administration doing? What have the Democrats been doing these past years? Stealing from the folks? I don't know. But I'm neither going to talk about politics on here. Democrat, Republican, Independent, people get into office and they say they're going to do this, they say they're going to do that, and they get in there and they don't do it. They don't do anything. They just flow on with the status quo. And the status quo got to go. We cannot be living this way, and where's the money going? Trump is talking about the money is going to the immigrant, that's where the FEMA money is going. Now come to find out that's the truth. What they gonna do now? So anyway, we're putting aside the politics. It's politics. It really is trickery. So when we look at the Psalm today and we look at the verse, I want to start off asking that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is right. What is good? What is integrity? What is kind? What is merciful? What is forgiving? All of the attributes that I am asking to accept the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart. And when I look at the Psalm today, and I looked at the Psalm earlier, I get up early, like at 5, and I'm up at 5. I try to go to rest at 7 p.m., but I had to go pick my son up. I was sleepy driving that late, 7 o'clock. Anyway, when I look at the Psalm today, I said, "Ooh, this is telling me I need to do something." It's titled, "I Will Walk with Integrity." So we defined integrity, and in defining integrity, we're going to walk with moral uprightness. We're going to walk with strong moral principles, like being honest, not just being honest. Yes, honesty can hurt some folks' feelings. Like my friend was like, "I love you, but you were wrong. You were speeding," right? That's honesty. I want that. Tell me that. And people hold the truth away from you because whatever that truth is, they may be threatened by it themselves that you're going to leave after they tell you that truth, And you shouldn't feel that way. You should just drop the truth on and let it go. And whoever, feels it knows it, right? When you throw a rock into a crowd, it's only a hit dog is going to bark. So we have to walk with truth, right, honesty. We have to walk with this code of ethical and moral principles. I'm a professor. I teach child development, right? And within child development, we have standards, we have codes, we have ethical standards. And these specific codes are to support children, is to support the people that work with children, is to support the community where the children are at. It supports, it's this ethical, umbrella. And when I look at the word integrity, that is what those standards are about. They're holding that uprightness when you're dealing with children. You're dealing with that uprightness. So the quality of being honest and having these strong moral principles is what integrity is. My uncle, Larry Sewer, he wrote a poem called Virgin Islands Child, and I read it. Look at my psalm yesterday or the day before. I read it, and he talks about integrity, and that integrity being one of the solvents of God is integrity. It leads to caring. It's the foundation for all humanity. And when we are lacking in integrity, our humanity crumbles. We are walking on shaky ground, okay? So we have to have that integrity. We have to have honesty, uprightness. We have to have that unity, that fullness, and that coherence and cohesion and undividedness. So integrity runs deep in terms of looking at it from a perspective of, the state of being full and undivided. We know that, white supremacy uses divide and conquer. You divide them up. That's a Black American, that's a Caribbean American. We're going to divide them up so they don't come together and, take over. So we divide them up and we spread rumors about Caribbean people, Black Americans, ghetto, this, and Caribbean people living in trees, all this stuff. We have these false narratives that are used to divide. It's used to divide people up. And it's really not healthy, because you then miss out on your opportunity to grow and to know others from other places, and looking at the differences that you share as an asset. Like, ooh, that person is different. Oh, they eat different. Oh my gosh, they speak different. Oh wow, let me get to know that person. So I love that integrity is the word today. And integrity is the word today for the psalm. It's not the word today. The psalm today is I will walk with integrity. And the word today is teach. So as I learn, I also teach. And I love this. So let's start. We have a lot to unpack. Let's start with I will walk with integrity. This is a Psalm of David. It's 101. And you're walking with this, like you're walking with your Savior, you're walking with God, you're walking with Christ, you're walking with, Jesus, you're walking with Selassie the first, you're walking with that omnipotent presence of righteousness that we talked about yesterday. So I will walk with integrity. Verse 1. I will sing of steadfast love and justice. And I don't use the word sing, so I will chant. And nothing wrong with sing. If you want to use sing, that's fine. However, uplift the word and liberate the word. So my friend was telling me that you're limiting yourself by limiting the word, or not using it, or making it sinful. And I'm not making it that way. It is that way because it is the sound that it's giving is actually the same sound of, the word sin. So in actuality, yes, it is the intention that you're putting behind the word. However, I also feel that words have sounds and they have vibrations. And these vibrations, scientifically, if we look at these vibrations is like an echolocation. Okay. When I talk about echolocation, I'm talking about, the dolphins, they push out the sound to see what is there because it bounces back to them. So that sound bounces back to you. And that's why I try to uplift the word, liberate the word, so that what bounces back to you is positivity. It's the vibration of positivity from the intention and from the vibration. So in the first verse, I will make music, right? I will get on my guitar. I will make music of steadfast love and justice to righteousness. I'm going to make music. So you may be making music for yourself. You may be making music for other people. I have some lyrics I'm writing now to put into music about, myself. I'm an artist. I'm an artist. And as an artist, my art comes out through my emotional expressions. So whatever emotion I'm feeling, my art comes out. This painting I did this painting just recently. You can go to my channel and see me painting this. And this can be interpreted a lot of different ways, right? When I look at this, and I'm going to use this in my class because we're looking at critiquing art and how children can learn to critique art by the teacher learning how to do it. So this can mean a lot of things, okay? There's a mermaid here, and she's surrounded by light. There's light that's shining on the water. That's the only way we can see her, is through these light spaces. So what does this mean for me? It means something because it's part of my artistic expression. And children, when I teach children, especially during the summertime, I do a summer workshop. And I want them to be able to express themselves, to express who they are, and what they feel, okay? What they're feeling. Greetings of love and joy with great gratitude for the Most High. Elsu, thanks for joining in. Chant A Psalm A Day. We are here live, and we're getting into the Psalm 101. Thank you for liking this video. I really appreciate that. That is a shout out of kindness and integrity as we're talking about that today. So verse 1 is about making music. And I talked about that in terms of making music. I have some lyrics. I want to get into a band. I want to be in a band. Yeah, that's my bucket list goal, is to be in a girl band. And either I'm playing instrument or I'm opening my mouth and, making melody with my voice. My voice needs to be expressed, and I need to let it out. So in verse 2 now, I will ponder the way that is blameless. So ponder meaning I'm going to think about the way that is blameless. Oh, when will you come to me? That's a question. Oh, when will you come to me? I will walk with integrity of heart within my home. So what does that mean? Let's unpack integrity of heart, meaning that your heart is filled with what integrity is about. And remember, integrity is about uprightness and honesty. Your heart is filled with that. Okay. Sometimes our heart can lead us into places that may not be good because we're not filling our heart with integrity. We need to fill our heart with integrity. And once we do that, we're able to discern, we're able to protect our heart because we have walked with that integrity of our heart. And where is that? Someone had texted me and they said to me, because they said to me, be strong, think logically and don't let your heart lead you. So, and what does that mean? When I thanks for liking this video. I appreciate the likes. Yesterday I got like 18 likes. I had like 530 views on this. So thank you all so much. It's growing. We're a community. We're growing in this community of building a relationship with ourselves through that we know of, that's within us, that most high that dwells there. Each one of you are a reflection of that creator. So you're beautiful. You're blessed, highly favored, wonderfully made. So when we talk about don't let your heart lead you, I feel that I'm going to allow my heart, I'm going to walk with integrity of heart so that it's not bounded by emotions, okay? Where you're going after something based on emotions or you're accepting something based on emotion. Yes, Chawa, beautiful. We are praising the Lord. Yes, we are. Thank you so much for joining. Like this video, please. Unsubscribe to this channel. So, and we're going to go live when I get into my band and play my music. We're going to set up where you can see that happening. That's going to be beautiful. So we talk about integrity of heart, and that integrity of heart begins at home. It speaks that. It says, I will walk with integrity of heart within my house. So that's where you start off. That's your starting point in your home. You're walking with integrity. You're walking with truth. So your home is your safe place, right? And in verse 3 now, it says, I will not set before my eyes anything that is worthless. What does that mean? Check it out. Anything meaning things or people. Things or people that are worthless, meaning that they have no worth. They have no value. They're not bringing that to you. You won't set your eyes before that. Okay? Anything that is worthless. All right? I do not love the work of those who fall away. The work of those who fall away shall not cling to me. Go ahead, fall away. Bye-bye. Okay? And this is important because in verse 3 we're talking about setting your eyes before things that are worthy and that are treating you with worthiness, right? I told my friend Jade, I'm not going to talk about my past relationships, but sometimes I have to reference those things because it's part of my growth and my relationship to the Most High that I'm building so that the Most High can send me now someone of integrity and of worthiness because I'm not setting my eyes before anything that is worthless, right? I don't love the work of those who fall away, go astray. That's not going to cling to me. I don't want that clinging to me. If you have met someone and you're in that relationship, stay there. Everybody is where they're supposed to be for a season. So I don't want that clinging to me because that is now been stained. It's been stained. And I can be, I can't, it's so hard to even be your friend because I can't trust. The trust is just gone, right? It's just kind of disappeared. So in the Psalm, in verse 3, Psalm 101, verse 3, I'm not going to set my eyes before anything that is worthless. Like throwing your pearls to swine, in other words, because they're going to come back and trample you and blame you now. People blame you. And what does the Psalm talk about in verse 2? I will ponder the way that is blameless. I will ponder the way, I will think about the way that is blameless. So when will you come to me? I will walk with integrity of heart within my house. I'm going to start off there. I'm not going to set my eyes before things that are worthless. I don't love the work of folks who fall away from, the Most High. That's not going to cling to me. A perverse heart shall not be far from me. Shall be far from me, in other words. A perverse heart shall be far from me. I will know nothing of evil. So when we talk about perverse, we're talking about deliberate, obstinate desire to behave in a way that is unreasonable. Okay? Just like the person that called and left a voicemail cursing me out. And they cursed me out on the phone twice with a voicemail and then in my ear. So perverse hearts, these are actions of a person or their actions, right? That show this deliberate and obstinate desire to behave in a way that is unreasonable. And people can be unreasonable, okay? Thank you, Elsu. Be worthy of me. We will not accept less. I'm not going to accept less. You have gone and met someone else, that's what you have chosen. That means that I wasn't anywhere in that space of thought when that happened. So I became unworthy of you. So therefore, I will be worthy of me. I will not accept anything less. Thank you, Elsu. Thank you so much. Those words are powerful because in defining perverse heart, we look at that perverse heart and we're going to, a perverse heart is going to be far from me. And this is what I think my friend is talking about. Don't let your heart lead you. You don't want your heart to be perverse, unreasonable, doing things because your heartstrings are being pulled and you're kind and you're giving. And then you're kind and you're giving and you give. And what do you have for yourself? After you've given what you've given. So in verse 4, we talk about knowing nothing of evil. Because remember, a perverse heart is unreasonable. They're in demonic places. So a perverse heart shall be far from me. Like, get away. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, right? I will know nothing of evil. I don't want demonic. I don't want evil. I don't want lies. And this is where demonic places and people stay in the lies and the dishonesty. They just permeate in that space. But once you are free from lies and deceit, guess what? You're light. You can rise now and meet with the Creator. You don't have to die to go to heaven. You can create that right here on this earth as it is in heaven, right? So in verse 4, we see this perverse heart that's going to be far away from me. And my good friend, I'm calling her my best friend now. Like, you're my best friend. And my son even said, finally, somebody with some sense. My son heard my friend talking and said that, like, I was like, okay, good. So I'm building my relationship with the Most High, and the Most High is clearing the way. And those are going to fall away that hate righteousness, that doesn't love truth and integrity. They're going to fall away and they're not going to cling to me. Go bye. So in verse 5, we see Whoever slanders his neighbor secretly, right, is going to be destroyed. So when you slander someone secretly, you're going to be destroyed. I am open. I'm an open book. I'm authentic. I'm going to talk about things. I'm going to talk about, like, Jade was like, don't talk about your back. Leave that person. But I'm going to reference it in terms of my past relationships, not my ex recently or this person. So you won't know. It's just my past relationships all under an umbrella where I have learned so much from in these individuals. They may not have thought they taught me anything, but they have taught me a lot. So I am thankful for these past relationships. I give thanks for them. I don't hate. I don't vacillate. I am going to be thankful. So when we look at verse 5, we have to unpack it. Whoever slanders a neighbor secretly will be destroyed. Whoever has a haughty look and an arrogant heart will not endure. So here we go with the heart again. We have a perverse heart that's being talked about. We have an arrogant heart that's being talked about. And those are not going to endure. A perverse heart is going to be far from you, right? And a perverse heart, is going to be far from you. You're not going to know nothing of evil, because the perverse heart is that locks in all the evil, right? People, when they talk about your God hardened people's hearts, they've been hardened. That's where that is coming from. They've been hardened to the point where it's arrogant, it's perverse, it's haughty, and it's not going to endure. So when a heart is hardened, it's that person has to do a lot of work, okay, in building their relationship with the Most High. I had a hardened heart at one point in my 20s, 30s, and my heart was hardened. And I had to, excuse me. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I never sneezed on this channel before like this. That's a bless. I receive it. Thank you. So these kinds of folks is not going to endure. They're going to be destroyed. So when people hurt you and they're dishonest, they don't have integrity. Thank you, Elsu. Thank you, Chawa. Thank you for your bless. When they don't have integrity, they're not going to be fruitful. Then they're going to be destroyed. They're not going to be enduring. You know what I mean? So in verse 6, we see how God, righteousness, the Most High, is going to look with favor on the faithful in the land. So those who are faithful will be looked with favor. Even though I was pulled over for a speeding ticket, that to me was favor. I was plucked out and people were speeding, other people. It's a long road, it's a stretch. But I was chosen to get this ticket as a sign that I am favored. Like, righteousness is like, want to get me right. Like, you're not supposed to be, you're supposed to be going 65. You were in a 55 zone going 80. No. So that's going to allow my conscience, my awareness to be more sharp now. I've been favored. So when that happened and I got a ticket, I was like, thank you, Mose. I was like, thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Because you're trying to get me on the right road with the right speed so that nothing happens adversely. Okay. 2 students at my university, they weren't my students. At least I don't think that they were. They have names, haven't been released. Passed away driving. Okay. That is another sign. And then the police pulling me over is another sign. It's like, wait a minute. We have to look at these signs as real signs that, are guiding us. They're like guideposts. Okay. And we can't look away from it. we have to look at it and look at ourselves. I have to take accountability, and I have to realize that, okay, I did that and I have to pay the price now for it. And the price is my safety, my awareness that I'm favored, and that there's a righteousness over me that's making sure I am okay. Even Miss Officer Bynum, he was sent. I look at him as he was sent by the Most High to tell me, be careful. You're the. Okay? So, and the reason that I didn't realize, I mean, I was speeding like that, my mind went somewhere else into these thoughts, into thoughts. And my thoughts wasn't on where it was supposed to be. When you're driving, you're supposed to be focused on the road, right? I'm listening to music, going all into not good. So, in other words, we have to let these things fall away because they're going to destroy us. They're going to destroy us, bottom line. And we don't want these things clinging to us. We want to let them go. So, looking at everyone with favor on the faithful in the land, that they may dwell with righteousness, they may dwell with goodness, so that ones who walks in the way that is blameless shall minister. Okay, shall minister, shall teach. And that's our word today, teach. So in verse 7, no one who practices deceit shall dwell in my house. Oh boy. No one who utters lies shall keep before my eyes. I'm not going to see you. Okay? No one who practices deceit shall live with me in my home. I'm getting a new house, y'all. Moving from an apartment to a house. That's what's happening. So no one that practices deceit shall live or dwell in my house. No one who utters lies shall continue before my eyes. Like, I'm not going to see you. I was heartbroken. I didn't get to see someone when I went somewhere, but it was because I'm not going to see anyone that utters lies. I'm going to be protected from that. So I need to stop crying about it. So in the rise, righteousness is going to destroy all wrongness in the land. Remember I said that? Righteousness is going to cover the earth as the water cover the sea. So cutting off all the evildoers from the place of righteousness. Okay? Morning by morning. So I don't use mourning because I am in a mourning. I'm grieving. In the rise, by the rise, righteousness will destroy all the wrongness in the land and will cut off all the evildoers from the city of the Lord. So you don't have to do anything to people. You just send love. That's it. And the Most High of righteousness will handle folks. Leave them stay there. Okay? Selah and Selah again. That was Psalm 101. I love it. Psalm 101 about walking with integrity. And then we talk in Psalm 101, we see the word minister, ministers. That means teaching, right? As I learn, I also teach. So that is our word today that's being brought to you today by Luke chapter 2, verse 46 to 47. I love me some Luke. So the word today reads as this: my every experience, whether I call it good or bad, includes opportunities for growth and learning I can use to further my righteousness standing, my standing in love. In other words, standing in love. So whether experiences you have are good or they're bad, guess what? Use them as an opportunity for growth and learning. This is what I'm going to do. And I can use them to further my standing firm in righteousness. So when I stand firm in righteousness, I'm standing in love. I'm not falling in love now. I'm standing in it. And standing in it, I can see the forest from the trees. I can see who's who. I can discern what's what. So, just as others have shared their knowledge gleaned from their personal experience, like I have shared my personal experience, and others have, um, gleaned from my personal experience, I too am grateful to teach what I have learned. So, yes, I'm going to talk about my past relationships and what I have learned from them, what I have done, what I didn't do, what I have learned. Every ship you're on, you're supposed to learn something. You're supposed to learn something. So, our knowledge is meant to lift, right? Knowledge is meant to lift and expand the minds of everyone it touches. So, in this way, each person is a student as well as a teacher. And I told my students that you can teach me more than I can teach you, probably. Each one teaches one. And I told my students that in class, that you can learn something from your classmate can learn something from you. Each one teaches one. So that brings me to I am a lifelong learner. I'm a lifelong learner. There's things that I am still learning today. Just because I'm 55, yes, I'm 55. Someone thought I was 45. I said, add 10 more years. Someone thought I was 35. I'm like, no, I'm 55. My body may look like a 20-year-old body, okay? I still have to go work out at the gym for my arms, but I feel young. I feel in that way. I feel like, childlike. That's why I love children, because I just like to be a child. And a child, that's what I'm called, a child of God. So, yes, I'm grown. I have that wise mind, wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove, that type of way. So, being a lifelong learner is a righteous seeker, ever deepening their standing firm in righteousness of the world beyond my senses and the nature of the divine. So we talked about that yesterday, divine order. There is a nature of the divine. We talked about the blessed the blessed mother. We talked about father time and mother nature. We have the two working together to create, okay? And being a lifelong learner, you're seeking for righteousness. You're seeking for goodness. You're seeking for mercy. You're seeking for forgiveness. Where can I forgive today? Where can I show compassion today? Where can I show, mercy today? Where can I show kindness today? Where can I show these things? So you're deepening that standing in those attributes so that it's beyond your senses and the nature of the divine. You are also a teacher. You're living and demonstrating righteous truth for the betterment of others. So that is what ultimately you are. Everybody is a teacher. You teach something, okay? You are teaching something. Whether you're on the job showing someone what to do, you're teaching somebody. Whether you're on the phone talking to someone, you're teaching someone something, okay? I had relationships where the person said, oh, I'm going to learn a lot from you. But then they learned, but they didn't act those learning out. You can learn as much, but you have to put it to practice. I tell my students that too. When we look at theory and we look at, research and stuff out there, how can we use that and put it into practice? We can't just get the knowledge and just be, okay, I got the knowledge. Now what do? You got to put it into action. So it's the same thing when you're building a relationship with the Most High. You got to put it into action. You got to be kind to folks. You can't be arrogant, as the psalmist talked about today. You have to be demonstrating that truth, that righteous truth for the betterment of other people. When you hold back the truth, you're selfish. You're just thinking about yourself and the truth revealing something you don't want them to know. Yeah, life lessons. Exactly, Elsu. Life lessons is growth on all levels. So this word today, teach, is very powerful. We unpacked a lot. So it's brought to you today by Luke chapter 2, verse 46 to 47. And Luke talks about after 3 days, they found Jesus in the temple, right? Sitting among the teachers, listening to them. Look how he was listening to them. He's not going out there boasting and arrogant, right? He's listening to them and asking them questions. My daughter does that. She always questions everything. So all who listened to Jesus, they were amazed at how he stood firm in his righteousness and his answers. So that's standing firm in integrity, standing firm in justice and truth and right. And his answers, they were amazed at that. Like amazed at how much this individual stood for what that individual was about and the actions of that individual. So I love that. I love Luke 2, 46 to 47. And the word today, teach. As I learn, I also teach. And that's what being a lifelong learner is. So when I look at now the verse today comes from Isaiah 43, 11 to 12. And Isaiah is talking and speaking for the Most High. He says, this is what the Most High is speaking to him and telling him. Even I am the Lord, and apart from me, the Lord, that's righteousness and mercy, there is no Savior. So apart from the Lord, there is no Savior but righteousness. Only your goodness can save you. Good, do good, and good will come, right? And then Isaiah is speaking for the Most High. The Most High is speaking through Isaiah and speaks, I have revealed and saved and proclaimed. I, and not some foreign God among you, you know. You are my witnesses. Okay, that's why we have Jehovah Witnesses. They're witnesses of this righteousness, this omnipresent, right? And this is what righteousness declares. I am the I am. I am God. I am the Most High. I am righteousness. I am that. So Isaiah 43 verse 11 to 12 is rocking. It's like, you're marinating in it, right? You're marinating in this acknowledgement that is given to Isaiah. And Isaiah shared it. Isaiah is like, look, this is what the Lord is. The Lord is like, look, you don't have anything good apart from me. So you can separate from me all you want. You're not going to be happy. You're going to be in this pickle. So when we push God aside for our own desires, our own lusts, our own desires, trying to heal our depression or heal our despair by drugs and sex and alcohol and all these different things that are of the world, we're going to be destroyed. We're destroying ourselves because you have no good apart from the Most High. That's righteousness. That's your Savior. That's going to save you. But when you push that away and you invite the devil and demons, big ones, little ones, whatever demons, guess what? It's not going to fare well. It's not going to fare well. So, and I tell people this, when people are in relationships and somebody goes out of it, tell the person. Don't just go out of it and then they find out on Facebook. Like, what? Go and tell the person so that you are clearing your path for goodness to come. But when you don't do that, you're not living in integrity. You're living in lies and deceit and hiding. Guess what? You're invited the demons in. You let them come through the door and you're inviting them in, right? What does, and we talked about this in Psalm 101. We talked about this in Psalm 101, that you don't want this in your house. No deceit. People that practice that will not going to dwell in your house. So if you're alone, it's because you're alone, because you're trying to get isolated with God, with that righteousness, so that you won't have the mistakes again of inviting people into your life that is deceitful, that practices deceit. They live off of lies. Okay? They tell you they love you, but then their actions show completely different. Like, wait a minute, what's happening? So, what is going to happen is they're going to be cut off. They're going to be cut off. And you're going to be cut off from the place of the Most High. And this is what Isaiah is talking about. I have revealed and saved and proclaimed. So Revelations, I talked about this when I first started the psalm. We're in a reflection time. Revelation, saving, and proclamation. And what is that? That is not a foreign or God among you. You don't want that. You want the witnesses. You are witnesses, declares the Lord, that I am God. I am good. That's what it's supposed to be. I am good. They took the one O out and made it God. I am good. I am all things good. All things are working together for our good. So when things are not going well, according to our word today, your experience, whether it's good or bad, all of it is working for your good. It's opportunities for growth, as El Sue mentioned. These are life lessons that is growth on all levels: physical level, intellectual level, emotional level, social level. All of those areas are being planted for growth to happen. So we have to look at our bad situations as well as our good situations as opportunities for growth. Okay, so that's our verse today. Our word today is teach, and we have the psalm today coming from 101 about walking with integrity. And then Max Lucado for October 8th, use your God-given gift. Drop the mic on that one. Use your God-given gift. This is brought to you today by 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 4 to 5. There are different kinds of gifts, right? However, they are all from the same righteousness. There are different ways to serve. However, the same righteousness is to be served. So 1 Corinthians 12, 4 to 5 is talking about your gifts. It's talking about the different kinds of gifts, and they're all from that righteousness. So you may have a gift of discernment. You may have a gift of prophecy. You may have a gift of kindness. You may have a gift of integrity, a gift of compassion, a gift of mercy, a gift of kindness, a gift of a long suffering, a gift of forgiveness. You may have these gifts. These gifts are all from that same place of righteousness. So when you see someone and they're being kind to you, they're sharing their gift. They're sharing their gift, their God-given gift. And it doesn't have to be money. It can be a kind word. I'm here for you. Someone said that to me, and that felt so God-given. It was a God-given gift for me to hear those words. I'm here for you. And that just resonated within my fullness of my being, that exactly what my mom said. God is going to send you someone. You don't have to worry. You don't have to cry that someone left or they hurt you or this. you're going to be sent someone. And I was sent someone to tell me, I'm here for you. So I shared that with someone else who's going through something, and I told them, I'm here for you because I have someone that said they're here for me. So I have to pass that on. So Max Lucado says you can develop a God-given gift. You may have the gift of encouragement or the gift of teaching or some other gift. What you do with that gift is up to you. Exactly. You can use your God-given gift to let Christ shine through you. And that's what I tell folks. Let that Jesus love, let that Selassie the first love, Rastafari love come into your heart and let that shine through you. Okay? Thank you, Max Lucado, for that and being brought to us today by 1 Corinthians 12, verse 4-5. You have lots of gifts, and one of them is integrity. That's a gift right there. Teaching is a gift. The word today is teach. The psalm today is walking with integrity, right? The verse today is coming from Isaiah talking about who is that apart from that you have. All of that teaching and integrity comes from the Most High. It comes from that righteousness. Okay. And that is goodness. And then, Max Lucado's October 8th, use your God-given gift. How are you going to use your God-given gift today? Anybody can share that? How are they going to use their God-given gift today as we outro, as we end the psalm? I can't believe an hour has gone by so fast. But for October 8th, we're in the book of Matthew still. There is no trial so big that it cannot be conquered by love. Okay? Love. So my trial, I'm going to be going into the court to fight my ticket. Nobody said, should I fight it? Should I pay it? What? But there is no trial, no court, no ticket, no anything of this world so big that it cannot be conquered. Okay? By your own loving kindness. It says by Christian hope. Okay. So this is the insight. How can you tell the difference between wise and foolish people? Only with time. Few can predict the fruitfulness of a seed. We have to see the fruit before we know how good the seed was. The delay of the bridegroom proves the amount of wise mind each bridesmaid has. How wisely are you living as you await righteousness to return, or Jesus to return? So there is a destruction of the temple and signs of the end times. This is Matthew 24. It's predictions of coming calamity. Beware. Preparation for coming calamity. So there's predicting the calamity, is preparing the calamity, being watchful, and parables of the kingdom of heaven be working. So me getting that ticket was a sign. It was to beware. It's to be watchful. It's to be working, right? And when we look at Matthew, my stomach is grumbling. I hope nobody heard that. There's no medicine like hope. So Max Lucado talks about the Christian hope. He talks about that. So we see, in not Max Lucado talking about Christian hope, but the Christian hope is talked about in October 8th, predictions of the king. So in Jesus's day, a prominent sight on the skyline of Jerusalem was the magnificent temple of Herod. The disciples, duly impressed with its immense splendor, are stunned by Jesus's word that it will one day be destroyed. This naturally raises questions in their minds regarding how and when such destruction will occur. An occasion Jesus uses to teach them about events even more significant than the conquest of Jerusalem. Jesus goes on to instruct them about his future second coming to earth and the unmistakable signs preceding it. So Matthew The book of Matthew, chapter 24, really powerful indeed. The day and hour is unknown. The parable of the 10 virgins, the parable of the bags of gold. So we see the prophet Daniel is mentioned here. Jesus left the temple and was walking away when his disciples came up to him to call his attention to its buildings. Do you see all these things? He asked. Truly, I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Everyone will be thrown down. Now, this is what this is. Oh, spread happiness, feed joy, speak love. I love it. Thank you for answering that question. How will you walk with integrity? What will you do? That was my question. Elsu answered it. Spread happiness, feed joy, and speak love. I love that. And this is what, so this is kind of radical. Matthew 24 with Jesus. It talks about, Jesus said that, Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives. The disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will this happen, and what will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age? So Jesus answered, watch out that no one deceives you. How many will come in my name claiming that Jesus is the Lord? You know, people say that. In Jesus' name, but they are deceiving. Okay? They deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. Only see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation. This is happening now. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. We see the Hurricane Milton coming up. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. Okay, at that time, many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other. This is what has happened. People have turned away from Jesus. They're not living in that way, and they hate each other. And many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. This is what I told you. People are going to come lure people away into falsehoods. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. But the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. Okay, stand firm or feel worm. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the full world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. So, what are we to do? We are to use our God-given gift. And Elsu just mentioned her God-given gift that she will use is to spread happiness, to feed joy, and to speak love. How are you going to use your God-given gift today? So as we outro, Selah and Selah again, we are almost at the 8 a.m. hour. Thank you so much for joining Chant A Psalm A Day. I am delighted that I have shared the word that you may be lifted up. Our word today, integrity. Integrity. How are you going to share your God-given gift? And how are you going to be about integrity? How will you walk with integrity? Okay, integrity. So I love that. Spread happiness, feed joy, and speak love. Beautiful. Thanks for joining Chant A Psalm A Day. I'll see you all next time. Reach